October, Russia suffered its heaviest losses since the start of the full-scale invasion. Around 25,000 soldiers killed in just 1 month. That's according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He said the record number of Russian casualties reflects Ukraine's growing use of drones on the battlefield and the increasing effectiveness of those strikes.
We have 25,000 enemy losses for the month of October alone, and that's just from unmanned aerial vehicles. This is a precise figure because all of it is backed by video evidence. As you know, we have a program that awards extra points for verified actions with video confirmation. That's why this figure is so definite. In addition, we estimate another 2,000 to 3,000 without video confirmation. This is the largest number of losses Russia has suffered in a single month since the start of the full-scale war.
In addition, President Zelensky announced plans for the mass production of a Ukrainian-made alternative to Mavic drones. He said that funding and contracts are now being finalized to launch large-scale manufacturing. Earlier, Zelensky noted that by the end of November, Ukraine could be producing up to 600 to 800 interceptor drones per day. Russia has launched another massive strike across Ukraine using more than 450 drones and 45 missiles of various types. In the city of Dnipro, one of the drones hit a residential building. According to initial reports, at least 3 people were killed. After the overnight attack on November 8th, several residences were reported missing. By morning, local authorities confirmed 3 bodies had been pulled from the rubble while rescue teams continued their search. Emergency workers saved around 30 people, but at least 10 were injured, including a 13-year-old child. 1 person was killed in the Kharkiv region, and there were injuries reported in Kyiv, Poltava, and Dnipro regions. Russian forces also struck parts of Kirovohrad, Mykolaiv, Sumy, Chernihiv, and Odessa regions overnight.
Everywhere it is necessary, all services are working, restoring after strikes, supporting people, helping those affected. Russia has launched over 450 strike drones and 45 missiles of various types against Ukraine. And the terrorist targets remain the same: ordinary life, residential buildings, our energy sector, and infrastructure. The issue lies in resources for killing, in money. Sanctions are needed to deprive Russia of the ability to continue the war it started and is prolonging. We appreciate all the steps partners have already taken, but Russian strikes show that the pressure must be stronger.
Ukraine's state energy company Naftogaz says Russia also struck the country's gas infrastructure overnight, marking the 9th large-scale attack since early October. Officials say Moscow is deliberately targeting facilities that provide Ukrainians with gas and heating ahead of winter. There were direct hits and damage to production equipment, and 1 worker was injured and is now under medical supervision, according to Naftogaz. The United States has granted Hungary an exemption from all sanctions on Russian oil and gas. The decision came after a meeting between US President Donald Trump and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Washington. That's according to Reuters, citing sources familiar with the talks. A White House official quoted by Reuters confirmed that Hungary will receive a 1-year exemption from US sanctions on Russian energy. The officials added that Budapest has agreed to purchase liquid natural gas from the United States under contracts worth about $600 million. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban welcomed the decision, calling it a pragmatic step that ensures his country's energy security.
We have concluded that Hungary is in a significantly different situation from other European countries, and it is not possible to secure Hungary's energy supply and to provide affordable energy to Hungarian families and businesses if sanctions continue to be imposed on 2 key pipelines. We looked at the issue, and we asked the President to lift the sanctions. We asked for 2 pipelines to be exempted from all sanctions. One that brings the gas from the south, and the other that brings the oil from the east. We agreed, and the President decided, and he said that the sanctions will not be applied to these 2 pipelines.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv cannot allow Russia to profit from its energy exports. He added that it is only a matter of time before Ukraine prevents Moscow from selling its oil to Hungary. US President Donald Trump said there is a very high chance he could meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Budapest. Speaking on Friday during a meeting with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban at the White House, Trump expressed confidence that he could bring an end to the war between Russia and Ukraine.
You mean a meeting with President Putin? Yes. You mean in Hungary? Well, I'd like to keep it in Hungary, in Budapest. That meeting, it turned out I didn't want to do that meeting because I didn't think anything was going to be happening of significance. But if we have it, I'd like to do it in Budapest. Yeah, it'd be good.
Trump added that his announced meeting with the Russian dictator Vladimir Putin in Budapest did not take place because Moscow is not ready to stop. He again claimed that, in his view, Russia's invasion of Ukraine would never happen if he had been president, adding that it happened under Biden. The US president also said that his planned visit to Budapest was meant to show support for Prime Minister Orban ahead of next year's elections. Let's recall Trump had previously stated after a conversation with Putin on October 16th that he planned to meet him in Hungary in the coming weeks to discuss ending the shameful war between Russia and Ukraine. However, by October 22nd, the White House announced that the meeting was cancelled as Trump realized he would not achieve his intent goals in the talks. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has warned Russian President Vladimir Putin about the alliance's nuclear capabilities. In an interview with the Welt am Sonntag, Rutte said he wants NATO to more actively highlight its nuclear strengths in the future as a way to keep opponents in check, including Russia. Rutte also emphasized that it is important for NATO countries to speak more openly with the public about nuclear deterrence so that people can understand how it contributes to the alliance's overall security.
When Russia uses dangerous and uncompromising nuclear rhetoric, our peoples must know that there is no reason to panic, as NATO possesses a powerful nuclear deterrent to maintain peace, and Putin must know that a nuclear war can never be won and can never be fought.
The NATO chief called the alliance's nuclear deterrence the highest guarantee of the alliance's security, adding that it must remain reliable, safe and effective. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.